Tonight on Blue Mondays, we take a look at the ongoing presidential race between Senators Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. After the Clintons' huge wins in Texas and Ohio, she definitely has the wind at her back. Is this a turning point? Then we take a first look at the evolution of the family tree, a wonderful community resource. All this and much more tonight on Blue Mondays for March 10th, 2008. Good evening. I am Stephen Handwork, your host here on Blue Mondays. We are on the second and the fourth Mondays of each and every month here on AOC Channel 15, and we welcome you to our show. Blue Mondays is where we take a look at local, state, and national news through a progressive perspective, and we're very happy that you've joined us tonight. Tonight we've got quite a show for you. Just last week it seemed that Hillary Clinton was down and out for the count. But guess what? Not so fast. Hillary Clinton ends up almost sweeping the races this past Tuesday with huge wins in both Texas and Ohio. And also for good measure, she brings in Rhode Island as well as Lanyap. So some significant leads that she had there. But is it enough? Let's take a look at this race. Right now, Obama is making these claims. Right now, Obama is saying that he's got 1,520 in the delegate count, and Clinton only has 1,424. Mind you, that margin has been shrunk sizably. Also, Obama was supposed to have about 40 to 60 superdelegates come out in support of him the day after this election. Guess what? Didn't happen. So the question now becomes, are voters starting to have a second look at Obama? Now, the interesting thing is you have to take a look at this in context. This past week was the first week that Obama actually had some negative media reports on him, and he sunk like a rock, and his campaign had a very difficult time answering those charges, from the land deal that happened back in Chicago and the guy now underneath investigation, also to the ad that Hillary Clinton ran. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll take a look at that here in a few minutes. But the question is, has that been enough? Let's take a look right now at Obama's tote board. Now, Obama has won the majority of the states: Vermont, Hawaii, Wisconsin, Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, Louisiana, Washington, Nebraska, Alaska, Idaho, Utah, Minnesota, Kansas, Colorado, North Dakota, Missouri, Delaware, Illinois, Connecticut, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, and Iowa. Those are the states that he's won in kind of reverse organization order. And you know what? That's pretty huge, right? It is the majority of the states. However, not so fast. Here's Clinton's arguments. Clinton comes back and says, yeah, you know what? I just narrowed your lead there, buddy. Now the lead's down to 96, and I'm going to keep hitting away at this. She's won all the big states. This is her argument. All the big states that are going to be needed in order to win this election nationally, she says that she's won. She's won states like Michigan, Nevada, Florida, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico, New York, Arizona, California, Ohio, Texas, and of course, as of last night, Rhode Island as well. The next major contest, though, is going to be in Pennsylvania, and Clinton holds a sizable lead. Now, Pennsylvania is a lot like Ohio in that it has a lot of the workforce that's actually been outsourced. These are a lot of blue-collar workers that work inside of both Ohio and Pennsylvania. And a lot of the correlations are going to be made there. Now, the other thing that it has going for it, much like Ohio, is that their governor, Governor Ed Rendell, he is a big Hillary Clinton supporter, much as Ted Strickland is in Ohio. So the question is, it's looking really good for Clinton right now. She has she has almost a double-digit lead. I believe she's ahead by 8 points there in Pennsylvania right now, and I'm projecting, since we're recording this just after the Tuesday results have come in, I'm projecting that will actually go a little bit higher. But we got 6 weeks. 6 more weeks to go until Pennsylvania comes in. So it's going to be a very long haul, and it's going to give them a lot of time to actually work the grounds there. But this is a primary. It's not a caucus, so it's going to definitely favor Senator Clinton in this. Here are some clips from that Tuesday night results that came in. We thought you'd like to take a look at the speeches that the candidates gave. We find them quite interesting. First up, let's let the winner go first. We'll have Hillary Clinton up first. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what she has to say.
Across America who's ever been counted out but refused to be knocked out, and for everyone who has stumbled but stood right back up, and for everyone who works hard and never gives up, this one is for you. You know what they say, as Ohio goes, so goes the nation. Well, this nation's coming back, and so is this campaign. The people of Ohio have said it loudly and clearly. We're going on, we're going strong, and we're going all the way. You know, they call Ohio a bellwether state. It's a battleground state. It's a state that knows how to pick a president. And no candidate in recent history, Democrat or Republican, has won the White House without winning the Ohio primary. If we want a Democratic president, we need a Democratic nominee who can win the battleground states just like Ohio. And that is what we've done. We've won Florida, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, Michigan, New Hampshire, Arkansas, California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, and Tennessee.
Definitely interesting there from Senator Clinton. She's claiming comeback status. She's also saying that after some scrutiny, Obama hasn't been able to hold up, and that voters are starting to have a second look at him, and they're not quite as happy with that. Is that true? A lot's going to be told here in the coming weeks, but we've got a long way to go. Now, let's go ahead and take a look and see what Obama has to say in his speech from last night. Definitely a little bit different. And anyhow, you be the judge.
In the weeks to come, we will begin a great debate about the future of this country with a man who has served it bravely and loves it dearly. And tonight I called John McCain and congratulated him on winning the Republican nomination. But in this election, we will offer two very different visions of the America we see in the 21st century. Because John McCain may claim long history of straight talk and independent thinking, and I respect that, but in this campaign, he has fallen in line behind the very same policies that have ill-served America. He has seen where George Bush has taken our country, and he promises to keep us on the very same course. It's the same course that threatens a century of war in Iraq, a third and fourth and fifth tour of duty for brave troops who've done all we've asked of them, even while we have asked little and expect nothing from the Iraqi government, whose job it is to put their country back together. Of course, a course where we spend billions of dollars a week that could be used to rebuild our roads and our schools, to care for our veterans and send our children to college. It's the same course that continues to divide and isolate America from the world by substituting bluster and bullying for direct diplomacy, by ignoring our allies and refusing to talk to our enemies, even though presidents from Kennedy to Reagan have done just that, because strong countries and strong leaders aren't afraid to tell hard truths to petty dictators.
Definitely very somber. He opens up with congratulating Senator Clinton on her wins, which I think was probably a good thing. But his campaign, immediately after he did this, immediately started hitting the media with all of these questions and comments and saying that, you know, she's not doing enough to actually take back the win. I don't know. It'll be interesting to actually see what happens here in the coming weeks and months. But definitely it was interesting the approach that he took here because he is mostly engaging with John McCain, not engaging with Senator Clinton. And the race is far from over now, especially after last night. Now, I was the first one to say, you know, I've already claimed that, look, since my guy's out, Edwards, I've actually went onto the side of supporting Hillary Clinton. I think that we're going to need someone who has a little bit more experience to be able to get the changes that we need and the fast changes that we need to get this country back on the right course. But my question here is that I stated very clearly that if Hillary Clinton didn't do well and do significantly well, she wasn't going to do well enough by winning like 49% to 48% in Ohio and Texas. She had to win big. And guess what? She did in both of these states. She won by 10 points in Ohio. So this is huge. This is huge by no mistake, no underestimating it. And she did what she had to do. So we have a race again. All right, so this is definitely far from over. And one of the things that the pundits keep saying about this race and what may have contributed to this and the results that we've seen so far is this 3 a.m. ad that ran. For those of you who have not seen it, we figured we'd bring it to you tonight. So first up was the Clinton ad. This hit the airwaves first. Let's go ahead and take a look.
It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. But there's a phone in the White House and it's ringing. Something's happening in the world. Your vote will decide who answers that call. Whether it's someone who already knows the world's leaders, knows the military, someone tested and ready to lead in a dangerous world. It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. Who do you want answering the phone?
I'm Hillary Clinton and I approve this message.
Obama, not to be outdone, quickly responded. Within 12 hours, he had this ad up. Let's take a look at Obama's.
It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. But there's a phone ringing in the White House. Something's happening in the world. When that call gets answered, shouldn't the president be the one, the only one, who had judgment and courage to oppose the Iraq war from the start? Who understood the real threat to America was Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, not Iraq? Who led the effort to secure loose nuclear weapons around the globe. In a dangerous world, it's judgment that matters.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
So there you have it. Definitely more to come. Definitely more to develop. You'll definitely want to keep your eyes on it because this is far from over. The family tree breaks ground on its new home, finally, and thank goodness for them. Finally, a permanent home, actually, for the family tree, and this is a really good thing for them. The family tree, I have been a big fan of all of the work that the family tree does. In my professional life, I've done some work with them. They are an amazing organization, one that's probably too well hidden of a secret in Acadiana. They do some amazing job, and I wanted to actually bring you tonight some information about their new facility that they're building video, and I'd like you to take a look at it right now. So, without further ado, here's the information on the family tree. Take a look.
We're currently in a building that is housed on Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital campus. The building was originally built as an orphanage back in the 1920s. As a result of the age of the building and the condition, that we're finding ourselves having to leave this building to find a new building or build a new building to better house the services and programs of the family tree.
Well, the family tree's history in Lafayette is really about helping people help themselves to create a better, healthier community, and that's Goodwill's mission. So for Goodwill to partner with the family tree, it's just like it was meant to be. We can join together, bring the strengths of both organizations, and provide more services in the community. And what a better way to build a healthier community than Goodwill and the family tree partnering.
Well, I think that the family tree is certainly deserving of having a permanent home because I think you as an organization have an important and valuable service to offer to our families. And so I would encourage people to support your efforts to acquire a permanent home. It's just good business to do that. And I think for the families who will be coming again to see the family tree or to be served by the family tree, it means to them that they have a place that they can associate with your organization and one that they can come to feel comfortable in and enjoy being here. Well, I guess my experiences with the family tree really go back to my years in the Junior League because that was a very proud, I think, accomplishment for the league to have founded the family tree.
In 1978-79 was when the Junior League made the commitment to form a parenting center in Lafayette. In early '79, in May of '79, we did a parenting conference, and it was called Today's Child, Tomorrow's Parent. The attendance was just incredible. At that point was when the Junior League of Lafayette committed $75,000 over 3 years, and the majority for the first 2 years of its volunteer manpower to help get the center started, to see this program that we started so many years ago, 29 years now, to see it still so very viable and important in the community, and to see the additional services that it provides to people in this whole region. But to find the home has been a challenge through the years because we went through some of those in our early times. So I think to have a permanent facility that the family tree can call its own is just a very exciting venture to me.
Why it's important to support the family tree, I would say, because it's really the only nonprofit organization that helps parents in need who don't have insurance or who have limited insurance but need counseling for their family, especially for their child. And it's been doing a great job of providing counseling for struggling kids, many with attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, with other family dysfunctions for over 20 years. And in practice for close to 30 years, I referred tons of children and their parents here and have just been so satisfied with the wonderful counseling that they've gotten. It's to me, it means the world that I can send somebody who may or may not be able to pay for counseling and know that they're going to get professional counseling and that y'all are going to work with them on a sliding scale according to what they can afford. To me, it's the essence of what healthcare and reaching out to the needy is all about. We need to keep doing it. We need to support the family tree so it can keep providing those services to those needy children and their families.
At the beginning, I think I must have been about 4 months when I called. I was, kind of nervous and everything. I guess all first-time moms are. And they just told me about this program, Healthy Start, and I called, and they're really nice. And I talked to the nurse, and I was just surprised how, it was all free and everything. But it was a blessing. And every time they have a little seminar over here, I'm always there. They, call me up, say, hey, we have this going on. I'm like, okay, I'll be there. And sometimes I bring family members too, because I want them to, get involved and learn everything that I've learned.
Prevention is the best. If you can prepare parents before they have children, that's ideal.
Family Tree has proven to the Office of Public Health to be a wonderful partner. They always do a wonderful job. I think all of us should be involved or should be interested and motivated to improve the health of our community. And I think we should understand that the health of a community really starts with the health of an individual. So for us to make Lafayette a healthy community, and healthy by physically, mentally, socially healthy, we really have to work with individuals. And there's a huge vulnerable population in our area. We have a high rate of poverty, a high rate of individuals on Medicaid, a high rate of people who are uninsured. And again, for a healthy community, we really need to focus on our health, but also work with these vulnerable populations to try to elevate them and break those cycles. Because if we don't help healthy families and involved families, then our community is really in trouble.
Well, I think one of the things that we at United Way like about working with the Family Tree is because of your approach, because you are about removing obstacles for families and empowering them for success. That fits in well with our philosophy of how we want to go about solving problems in the community. So regardless of what the problem is, if the problem is poverty, if the problem is family cohesion, if the problem is something that was created by a visitor like Hurricane Rita or Katrina, the Family Tree is able to adapt to meet the needs of families that are impacted by external and internal events.
So much of our youth today are in trouble because of broken families. And family's important to me because I truly believe this in my 18 years of coaching and watching the student athlete come from a good home, some coming from a broken home. And when you break the family up, something that's permanent, people have a tendency the rest of their life to try to fill that void with alcohol, with drugs. What I would tell anybody is that we all come from family. And I think if there's not an agency like yourself that somebody can go to in tough times, then I think the family breaks apart.
I think Goodwill and the Family Tree has a responsibility to show a model where nonprofits can join together and bring their strengths of each of their organizations, come to the table, and create a healthier community.
The Family Tree has been with us for decades. We need to continue those services, and so I'm proud to be a sponsor and to support the Family Tree in its building of its new building and its ongoing campaign to continue the great services that they provide.
Thank you for gathering around us and supporting us through these 30 years. We have a new challenge, and that's our capital campaign, to build a permanent nest for the Family Tree. Please help make this possible.
And there you have it, the Family Tree. I will join in that call. I hope that you will support them. They are an amazing organization, a nonprofit organization that works incredibly hard to help working families in this area. And I definitely hope that you'll log on to their website for more information. It is thefamilytree.ws. Again, that is thefamilytree.ws. You can see more information there. They have a lot of goals and they have some more information. And that website, of course, will have more information as it develops. And a good place to definitely touch base with them. But that is all the time we have. Yet another week down. I want to remind you to check out theadvertiser.com every single Tuesday morning. There you'll be able to read my column, The Left Blog. The Left Blog comes up usually around 9 or 10 o'clock every morning on Tuesdays. There you'll be able to find information. The best way to find it is to go ahead and click on Opinions and then click on my mugshot, and you'll be able to find and read my weekly column to see what I've got going on in my brain for that week. Then we also want to remind you to tune in to AM 1330, especially on Thursday mornings. There I join the crew, Todd C. Elliott and Portia Evans, every single Thursday morning where we talk politics, both local, state, and national, and we always got a good time going on, so you'll definitely want to tune in there. And last but most certainly not least, log on to our friends' website, the Lafayette Democrats website. There we have more and new information up. The new Lafayette Parish Democratic Executive committee was just sat. All of its new officers have been elected. I was actually one of them. So to find out more information on that and to see some photos, log on to their website at LafayetteDemocrats.org. Again, I am Stephen Handwerk, your host here each and every time on Blue Mondays. I thank you greatly for spending some time with us here on Monday evenings. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you back next time. Until then, good night.